stream, actually. Ah, Skaven. 1050 Skaven. Okay. So he won his last game. Bloody hell, he won it 6-0. Who the fuck did he play?
Wow. Well, if you're going to win 6-0, Skaven are one of those teams that you're most likely to do it with. 6-0. Holy shit. We've done a move 10 Skaven already. That's jolly handy. The game against the Elves, Belhorus, happily 2-1 in the end, we won. Though it was bloody hard work. There's some absolutely shocking strings of dice. I think, Mike Tucci, I think that's unfair. Jimmy's pretty good at Blood Bowl. I think certainly when he was feeling a bit weary of it a couple of months ago, he started to play less well than he usually does. But he's been back the last few days and he's been playing fine. Don't underestimate Jimmy. He's a good coach. Salty fucker at times, but he's been a little ray of sunshine this week, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, when Jimmy's on it, he is very good. There's not many better. But yeah, I reckon you can say that about quite a few people. When they're having a bad time, they're having a bad time. But when it's going well, then it's going well. His voice sounds more positive. Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't really seen a great deal, but
I have.
That's a good. Yeah, it's good.
I was when we didn't stream Thursday. I watched for a couple of hours and it was good. So what you're saying, McTushi, is would you like me to stop trying to keep Andy on an even keel and just like really stoke the saltometer and really try and make him flip out? Like you're thinking you want to see the cafetiere hurled against a wall, that kind of stuff. Farron, I hadn't, but I'm not surprised. I mean, I think Lupak seems to be pretty much lost interest in Blood Bowl. I think he's found his new thing with Albion, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say I was waiting for him. At what point is he going to? At what point is he going to drop out? Ooh, I think that's tied on the fame then.
Well, just for the record, this should be nearly 2 months that we've been doing this show. Turnitz asks, is Albion any good? Subjective opinion. It's rather like RuneScape. It's quite a lot of it's forced third-person perspective MMO with lots and lots of grinding. So if that floats your boat, you might like it. Certainly got a reasonably popular fan base. Popular following, hasn't it? Is that English? No, it's gibberish. It's got quite a large following. Not for me though.
Okay, right. As I quite liked that setup from when we played against the High Elves, we can do the same thing and we'll see how good he is.
Now the important thing is we need a jaunty and memorable and slightly amusing nomenclature for this. What are we going to call it?
Well, it won't stick around long because as soon as anyone gets any guard whatsoever, I can't do it.
Thomas says, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the show.
You don't like the setup.
What's wrong with calling the kitten Indio? That's his name. Oh, Vilnich, that's really upsetting. Poor little kitten.
He's a lovely little kitten.
Little Indio. This setup, what's it called? I'm trying to think what it looks like. It's sort of like offset chevron. Offset chevron? Nah. If anybody comes up with any great inspiration, you can still call him Daft Kitten if you want, Villanich. That's fine. You can describe him as such. I mean, he probably is a bit daft. He's a kitten after all.
Okay, so it's worked in as much as it's held the line of scrimmage together. So he's only going to get 1 block this turn.
Vilnich says Lupac got an 8,000 viewer host from the official Albion channel.
That's impressive, that. That is impressive.
What, 8,000 people watched that?
Wasn't it? It was at launch, though. To be fair.
No, I'm not trying to pour cold water on it. I'm just surprised because I've had a little look at it, and it was a little bit dull to watch. There wasn't a lot to talk about. You know, it was just fairly dull stuff happening.
Oh, indeed. Right. Objectives this game are try and level 1 or both the flesh columns, or the 13 star player point white.
Well, good luck to Vinich.
Yeah.
Mind you, having looked around on the internet, the sort of stuff that people across the globe will tune in and watch is a source of constant amazement. I don't know if I've mentioned Jake and Logan Paul before.
No, actually, who are they?
I don't know, just look it up. But no, seriously, there are some games that somebody will have mentioned. I'm going to wonder what that's like, so I've looked it up on YouTube, and you'll see folks that have got, for example, 50,000 views, and you watch it and go, why do people tune into this? It doesn't lend itself to streaming, surely, because not a lot happens. So, you know, funny old world.
Right. Here. Next turn, we're going to get 3 blocks off. He only got 1 this turn. Sorry, he got 2. You got the line of scrimmage and then a blitz. We're going to get 3 blocks off the bat this turn. Because we can knock over this Storm Vermin, this Line Rat, and we'll still have our blitz. And if we're super clever, we can actually get a Billy bonus 3rd one, because we can push this Line Rat into the guard white and get 4 hits. So let's see whether or not it's positionally a good idea to do that.
Do you know, you've really sold me on that. That sounds brilliant. I can hardly wait. You did sound scarily positive there, by the way. Have you just had a cup of coffee, or?
No, I haven't actually. I've really got a sore shoulder. I feel like I've just pulled a muscle in my shoulder.
I don't think Blood Bowl's ever going to be, you know, like CS:GO or Call of Duty, or where you're getting 4 figures. I mean, who's popular at streaming? So Soviet Womble, when he streams stuff, typically gets 3,000 will tune into Twitch, and he's well established. I don't think there's a market for that with Blood Bowl because it's a niche game. But one of the great strengths of Blood Bowl is that when people play it, they then tend to play it indefinitely. More people than not play it and just keep playing it, if you know what I mean. Whereas a heck of a lot of other games, people will play for 5-6 months and then never go back to. Got one!
We got a casualty. We got a casualty. I'm so pleased with our casualty causing prowess.
That was Fiction. Well done, Fiction. I don't think he's with us this morning. Let's have a look. This afternoon, rather. Oh, Fiction's not here to watch that. His first kill. So proud. It's like baby's first steps, isn't it?
So, right, and we do now get our last block. I was a bit careful with trying to engineer that up, but it has worked.
Claw's doing the work. Well, it was a double 6 on the armor roll, so not really, but you know, it looked good, didn't it? Yeah, I mean, Hotspur, I don't think I've had a break completely from Blood Bowl. I think occasionally, when work's been a bit mad, I might have sat out a season of one of the leagues, but I've pretty much played in 2 leagues forever because it's not that big an ask, you know, two hour and a half slots a week. It's not like obsessive, you know. It doesn't take over your life. Though I must admit, recent experience of streaming, maybe that's not so much the case anymore.
Yeah.
Well, no. When we're doing normal schedule, few hours each day at the weekend, and then a couple of evenings. That's commitment without it being an obsession.
Yeah.
This holiday schedule is it's quite full on, but it's you know, it's no harder than actually going to work, is it?
No.
Easy.
And we're enjoying doing this. The other thing I suppose is we are sort of looking to try and grow the stream, and we don't normally sort of talk about viewer figures or anything like that. I don't want to try and bore anyone, but
Hold on, is Fash still here? Because we mustn't
I
talk
know
about him in
we're
front
not.
of
I know you're
Fash.
not normally going to do it, and this is the last time I think I actually talked about it was when we first hit 100 concurrent viewers, which was for us just sort of blew our little minds. But we're now approaching 1,000 followers. That is we I didn't think we'd ever get there, and so it's really nice that you guys must enjoy this to some extent. What? That's insane. Why would you open the turn with a double skull? Well, I mean, obviously you don't try and open your turn with a double skull, but that's
A 1-die block is.
yes, that's more. Yeah. I know. I'm going to open my turn today with a double skull. Are you, Andy? Are you really?
Terrific. Yeah, I know what you mean. Champ Ladder performs a unique challenge, but I'm quite lucky that I have a secret weapon for dealing with it. In that I don't actually play any of the games, so I can remain largely cheerful, and then that gives me quite a lot of room to devote a lot of effort to keeping Andy largely cheerful. And he occasionally gets a bit cheesed off, but it never really explodes. Hot Dog, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the show. And to my eternal shame, I just missed who followed before Hot Dog moments ago. So please give us a wave and I shall welcome you properly.
If I had a
I
4
think
minutes,
was it Johnny was that latest joiner?
if I had 4 minute turn here, I reckon that flesh golem could have been stood next to the ball. Right. Anyway, let's do this.
Oh, hold on. Let the stewards know Duke has arrived.
Hey.
Oops, excuse me 1 moment. Telephone.
Right, can we get the wolf free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I can get the wolf to do the blitz, this would be way more powerful. So, three dice block. Alright, we're just going to see if we can get a knockdown. We might. Oh, we did. Fantastic. Oh, wow, got another one. Good work there, Tomo. Oh, got another one. Wow. Now, can we get ourselves through? No. Block to there. I think we might have to push the wolf against the ball. Hang on. So, block into there, pushes him into here. Now, if you push him there, so the guard white needs to stand there. Don't fancy moving the guard white. Alright, we'll do that. So if this is a push, we need a push and a knockdown. Oh well. Alright, well he's going to be able to pick the ball up fairly comfortably, and he's got gutter runner, and gutter runner. So, we don't want shenanigans. So let's just try and tag that gutter runner a little bit. That'll do. Yeah, we could have started standing on the gutter runner actually. We have got Pedro, and he is only playing now with 9. But I think what we're going to see is, I expected to see one gutter runner handing off to the other gutter runner, who's then going to try and disappear down here. The good news story, I suppose, with Necro is that because the wolves are so quick. Oh dear, that's unlucky. I hope he doesn't have like really bad dice, because it's not fun for him. Yeah, I'd like to beat him with skill, not with him just rolling absolute shit for an hour.
And we're back. Sorry about that. It was my mum ringing up. So it's Sod's Law, isn't it? I've got new PC sat in the front room there in its box. Can you take me shopping? Of course I can, Mum. I'll see you about 4 o'clock. Mars biscuits. Come on, Mum. Run. Hurry up.
Oh, this is...
your PC.
Right, so what's he going to do? He could dodge the gutter runner out, 3+, 2+, stand it there, and then I can't surf it. That's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, never mind that stuff. Here's Duca. Duca's arrived. Hello, mate.
In fact, have we noticed there's been a massive increase in violence since Duca's arrived?
Well, have you seen the barrage of Dairy Lee triangles been hurled at the away fans?
Oh no, I don't get it.
What Dairy Lee triangles
No, I
made
do
of?
get it.
What are Dairy Lee triangles made of?
Dairy Lee, obviously, otherwise it'd be called something else.
Which is what?
Well, triangles of Dairy Lee. No, I do get it. I do.
Well done. Duca, talk to me, man. Talk to me. We've missed you. It's not been the same without you. We've had to struggle by without the most ardent fan base in the land.
Yeah.
Fan folks, you'll have to take that up with Duca and the rest of the ultras. Why Dairyley triangles and not Baby Bell? No idea. Because obviously Baby Bell would probably be easy to throw, wouldn't it? But I don't think they really think these things through. It was probably what they had to hand.
Oh no.
I mean, there's a couple of them trying to throw Quavers cheese flavour, but they can't really get them very far at all. They just sort of blow away.
Oh dear. Right, I don't think we even need to make a go for it here with a clever chain push.
Starting to
1,
doubt
2,
if
3,
Duca's
4, 5,
listening because
6.
he
There
hasn't
we
said
go.
out. Duca, talk to us, man.
Talk to us, Goose. Talk to us. Right.
For those of you who don't know, whilst Duca isn't a player on the team, he does organise the ultras for the Flaming Hot Monster Munch and Darvo's Dark Devotees. So whenever Duca arrives, suddenly the fans get really revved up, and it makes the team play better.
Okay, right. Second action is obviously to surf that gutter runner. So, thank you, good gutter runner. Thank you for attending.
That's a fair complaint Pedro Jack's got. He's on the bench. Why is he on the bench?
Because he's only agility 1 and we're playing against an agility side. So I thought, let's not. Uh-oh.
Oh, give us the ball back, Duca.
Uh-oh. Where's this going?
This end. Back up this end. Up this end.
Oh, they're just showing off now, look.
That's about perfect. Thanks, buddy. Hi, Kabista. Hello, Wormthrax. Duca, we've missed you. Welcome back, sunshine. I'm with Pedro Jack. Agility 1 does not hold him back in any way. Get him on the pitch and get him standing on some rats. It's what he was born to do.
Alright, okay.
I don't know. Our man rang up, and so I missed a bit of this. Has Wormthrax stood on anybody today?
No, not yet. He's going over to provide a 3 dice assist on a gutter runner right now. Ooh.
Will we be taking a referee's rest area, or will we be going for one of Arthur's main wine bars for this stadium?
Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? Because I'd like both.
Well, maybe Arthur could have a referee's rest area inside the wine bar, so that we could have both. That you got the surf plus damage, and then you got the foul free bribe. I don't know if it could be sorted out. We'll have a go. Villanich isn't crazy about the free bribes for anybody who's not dwarves. Well, goblins, I suppose, would fall into that category when they come out. I don't know, because any teams that have got real low-value players that you're happy to have a couple of spare ones on the bench and aren't gutted if they do get sent off, fouling's a major thing. Yeah. No, it's not exactly bushranger. What am I trying to say? What's the official thing that's the +1 damage from surfing? What's that called?
Oh, the +1 damage from surfing thing.
You know, the +1 damage from surfing. Anyway, that manifests itself by Arthur, our head hospitality director. Beer stand, that's the fella. He's got a bar either side of the pitch. He's got a franchise for all our teams. Yeah, beer stand, that's what I meant.
Right, this is a game to try and level up a flesh golem. A flesh golem. Sundisk, are you paying attention?
Oh, I suppose you're right, Villanich. I was just thinking that any team that would particularly require bribes. Probably thinking about it, Andy, because it is a double-edged sword having the referee's rest area. I think beer stand probably is the preferable option, especially if we can get the wolves developed and Juggernaut becomes a thing for them.
That's a strength skill.
Well, there's nothing to stop you taking Juggernaut Frenzy on a white.
Oh yeah, we could actually build a Juggernaut Frenzy white. Yes.
He's gonna need to be 51 points, isn't he? Because Mighty Blow at 16.
Yeah. Juggernaut Frenzy.
Frenzy at 31. Juggernaut at 51. But that's entirely reasonable. So you got one of those, and the other ones are piling on.
All right. I hope Sundisk's watching, by the way.
Glasshammer, the first game was against Sirens Orcs, which was very hard work, but 1-0 win. And the second round, it will depend who wins between Murloc Joe's Humans and the Dwarf team.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet. I think it's today.
Yeah,
So we don't know, but we're rooting for Murloc Joe, because we don't really want to play the Dwarves.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock today, and I would suspect that Joe will be streaming that. So if you're interested, go and watch his stream later on today. In about 4 hours.
Oh, Glasshammer, yeah, this is Champ Ladder, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the streaming you'll see us do is definitely my league games, potentially Zunk's league games, and then Champ Ladder.
I think Glasshammer's saying he's referring to the playoffs. Probably not other people's, because I don't know. Definitely Andy's. I think part of the challenge is that the other playoffs happen. We don't know exactly when they are, and I suspect it might fall out at times when Andy can't do it anyway. I mean, how do you feel about streaming? A game where you're not actually playing it, Andrew?
Yeah, I would.
See, I've got a feeling that some of the streamers will already be doing that. So you'll be having multiple shows of basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, got one.
Yeah, we did.
Well done,
Right.
Tony.
So we are going to try and hand the ball off to Sundisk. Maybe not quite just yet, because there's still quite a few Skavens left on the field, but certainly soon. So I'm just thinking about making sure he's front of the cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the cage is going to go there.
It's nice of you to say so, Hellboy. To be honest, if the show was Andy commentating on me playing, I think you're probably not playing to our strengths there. To be honest, Andy has undertaken to stream as many of my league games as possible, but bizarrely, by hook or by crook, they always seem to happen when he can't be asked to do it. So the intention's there; it just hasn't actually happened yet.
Yeah.
Just for reference, my 2 league games this week, the big one tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock UK time. Are we on tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, we will be actually.
Well, there you go, folks. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. UTC, we'll be streaming my Coca-Cola Chaos side against a rather nasty Undead side, which is not a foregone conclusion. So that'll be quite a nail-biter for me, unfortunately.
So we took maximum blockage there.
Glasshammer's qualified on Xbox, Champ Ladder. Nice one, mate.
Oh, well played. Well played. Actually, though, I have got a question for you, Glasshammer. On the Xbox version, is it everyone who plays qualifies because there's not that many? Is that true?
Well, there's got to be more than one Dark Elf coach and one. No, I think it's a fraction of the size, but there's still some. Because otherwise, all you'd have to do is turn up and win. I mean, Jimmy tried playing. Was he playing Chorse? He borrowed a PlayStation 4 and went to the champ ladder at that, but didn't. I don't think he got anywhere. I'm
Oh,
pretty
did
sure
he
he
not?
didn't make it.
Both the other Dark Elf coaches must have been gutted.
I can't remember what team he was playing. Duran, I think, does PlayStation 4 and has done well. You know
Few good
Duran.
players. Yeah, yeah. We've hosted him from time to time.
I don't think there's a huge appetite for the console version. I mean, I don't think it does the game any harm that they exist. But if you were really into Blood Bowl, you'd probably knock yourself out to get a PC one way or the other, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Stop this console BMing. Yeah, but it's not very good.
What's BMing stand for?
Bad mannering or bad mouthing.
Oh, bad mouthing. Right. Okay.
But
It's not bad mouthing console. I mean, I got a PlayStation 3. You just don't use it. Absolutely, Duderino. It's not what you know, is it?
we're not slamming the consoles. It's just I would rather that the consoles genuinely would rather they probably didn't really exist because they. Oh, I need to concentrate for a second. How very dull. They split the player base, but then the argument potentially is that people who, if you don't own a console, if you only own a console, they'd only play on a console. So I still don't think that they are. They're not the way I would choose to play Blood Bowl.
I think some folks own one console. Some folks own a PC and both consoles. And any combination thereof. It's a mixed bag, isn't it? I don't think the consoles take away from the PC. I really don't. This game is easier to play on PC apart from anything else. But also, got one. Consoles seem to be a little bit on the wane, partly through a mixture of factors that PS4 won't play 4K Blu-rays, I don't think. Xbox doesn't play 4K games in native 4K, it upscales them. Whereas PCs are already, you've got a choice between playing 144 megahertz at 1440p or true 4K. That's now happening. And in the next couple of years, I think that 4K gaming will really take off. Where at the moment, folks are just trying it and going, oh, my frame rate's a bit not sure. But there's plenty of people who are playing 4K stuff. Also, consoles have got a challenge at the moment that they've fallen into a horrible trap that the only games being released are AAA titles that cost a bomb, but are essentially the same game as last year, just slightly reskinned. And so new content, a lot of console owners are going, hey, where's the new games? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I was just concentrating.
Oh, Pedro Jack's just saying I've turned into R2D2. Does he mean that the voice is breaking up?
No, it's crystal clear for me. Vilnich, because the flesh golems would bring more to the party than a skilled up ghoul. So and most of the time,
flesh golems are great.
Yeah, most of the time, I'll have no choice to skill up the ghoul. So when I have a choice, I want to make sure that I use that choice.
Oh man, Pedro, I cannot win. I've just knowledgeably talked about modern technology and you didn't like it, but then I'll play dumb, and then Fash will take the piss because I don't know about modern technology. Which one do you want? We'll go with that. No, what's going on? But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so a lot of console owners are going, "Where's the new content? That this is same old, and we're not happy." So I don't know if that will resolve itself, or whether it'll see a small decline in console ownership. I mean, traditionally, the big thing for consoles is that you got the game in all its glory on a machine that costs you 250 quid. But what's the Xbox One S or a PS4 Pro? They're more like 400 and change, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting
With
expensive now.
well, gaming PCs, arguably probably a couple hundred more, and you've got a gaming PC. It won't be cutting edge, but you can certainly get something like a 1060 and an i5 chip. That would run these sort of games, no bother. It's no longer £2,000 for a gaming PC if you don't want to. Duke, I think it's worse on the Xbox, mate. Watching bits of YouTube, there's quite a few articles. Articles? I don't mean articles. I mean vlogs, perhaps, talking about exactly this situation. I do think Sony rather missed a trick. That one of the things that made the PS3 and the Blu-ray hugely successful, and Sony were heavily invested in both, is that the PS3 could play Blu-rays. PS4 doesn't, but Xbox does. But then the PS4 will play in native 4K resolution just about, admittedly at 30 frames a second. But there's no console that's a sort of a best of all worlds, which a PS3 was. Arguably, he added, in case there's any Xbox ardent fans out there.
No, he did receive here, so it isn't devastating if we don't score.
Well, Dino makes an interesting point that with a console you can sit on your sofa and play it with a telly. Andy, what did we do last time you were around?
Played it on telly.
We were playing Blood Bowl on a 4K 55-inch telly through a massive hi-fi because we could. What all you need is a wireless keyboard, mouse, and an HDMI cable, and you're there.
Okay, so 4+ pickup with a reroll. Yeah, why not? Jesus Christ. That was 5 attempts that Flesh Golem had to pick the ball up. 5.
Well, boo.
What is 5? So 50%, 25, 12 and a half, 6, 3. So that was a 3% not work. Well, that's quite oh well. Yeah, Sundisk. We haven't seen him, have we? It's because he's not here.
No, Sundisk did show up. He's here.
You want to hang your head in shame, young man.
He's gone again. He's found something more interesting to do. Super Mario Drita, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the show. No, Sundisk was here. Just having a quick look to where's he gone? He's probably just gone to do something else. No, I'm just looking at the Twitch Blood Bowl 2 channel. There's Bernie Buffon is streaming PS4 Champs Ladder playoff game. There's not a ton of folks watching it, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all the comments that making Blood Bowl cross-platform just seems a really why on earth not? Because there's no obstacles. Like, I mean, for example, another game I played, Planet Side, is on PS4 and PC. and originally a Sony-owned game. They elected not to make it cross-platform just because of balancing. Keyboard and mouse versus a pad isn't a fair matchup. But what's the difference with Blood Bowl? I think Sundisk, he's gone back to the locker room to sit down and think about what he's just done.
Hey!
Come on! Oh, hey! Tell you what, Fiction's really getting into this since he got Block, isn't he? Lethal.
He is, isn't he? Right. That Flesh Gaunt is going to pick the fucking ball up, whether it kills me.
Are there any games out there that are cross-platform these days? You know, popular games. Duke, pom-poms out for blood. We were saying earlier, Duke, you got the lads throwing derely triangles at the away fans. It's putting them off, isn't it? Still 0-0 though. What's going on?
I'm trying.
Apparently you can play Final Fantasy 14, Tomo says. Rocket League. Oh, is Rocket League cross-platform? I didn't know that.
Rocket League might be interesting.
See, but you raise that point, Kabooster, but don't forget, Microsoft is Xbox One, but also it's Windows. So you'd think it would be quite a small leap for them to want to cross-platform that, because they've got a big vested interest in both.
Right, Sundisk, hold this. Yes, boss. There we go.
He's got it! Yay!
It's a bit naughty, isn't it? Handing the ball to... You're seriously going to move that, right? Otherwise, that's getting served.
Why has he put that?
That's really not a good idea. That's going off. There is no...
Oh, that's a mistake.
Something's going off over there now. Something is. I don't know what he's going to do.
If he... Oh, he's moved. If he'd stayed put, you could have got them both.
Well, but there's no square that you can protect. So if he stands one to the right, then a werewolf just pushes them both off. If he goes 2 to the right, the zombie blocks him and moves him out of the way. If he goes 3 to the right, it's the same. It just... That gutter runner is just gone.
Oh, well. Perhaps he's thirsty and fancies a pint in Arthur's bar. Oh, we haven't got the bar yet, have we?
No, not yet, but we will have soon.
Oh, we're going for the bar, aren't we?
I think so.
Hello, Frank. You all right, mate? Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The consensus in chat is more cross-platform games would be just great all round, and I absolutely couldn't agree more. It would be super. I think the danger that Microsoft risks there, Kabistra, is a little bit like Apple, that because Macintoshes was so unupgradable and uniquely geared so that they only worked with other Apple products, eventually you saw desktop Macs have largely now become a thing of the past. I think Apple have pretty much given up on trying to compete with desktop PCs. It even goes far to say that the laptops are on the decline. Hauser, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the show. They do Villanich, but if you look at the $4,000 King Apple something Pro, right? This is a machine that comes in a sort of cylindrical, huge case, and it looks the dog's bollocks, but there was a YouTube show I watched by one of the respected hardware streamers, and he pitched that against a $2,000 PC. It was something like an i7 7700, so a popular high-ish end chip, and a 1080 graphics card. So you could easily get that machine for £2,000, and then they benchmarked it with games and a load of the 3D Mark type stuff. He did a full, hour-long video on it. The PC absolutely murdered the Mac for like software that they were both supposed to run, including a lot of the graphic rendering stuff that Mac said the Mac is for graphic design work, and they were using those programs, and the PC was getting 2 to 3 times the frame rates, or they were performing the renderings in a third of the time than a Mac, costing twice as much. And this was the current latest Mac, the best you could buy, against a fairly common or garden high-end £2,000 PC. So for me, that just screams of they don't give a rat's ass anymore.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, Blob Skills.
The phones are good, though. Let's be fair. Can't argue with the phones and the little pads. Hi, Blob Skills.
So I'm going for making that unusual shaped cage again. And the reason for going for the unusual shaped cage is that... Ooh, it keeps the riffraff out. No, that it means that...
It keeps the dross at bay.
What is the reason for it? There is a reason, I can't think what it is. It means that the gutter runner that might try and dodge in 2 dice uphill, actually it's 3 dice uphill. So we're going for that reason.
Kurgle, that's exactly it. That Apple hasn't actually changed its flagship. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but this is something Pro. It hasn't changed a single chip for 4 years. It is the same machine, and they still want £4,000 for it. I get Duca's point that if you go to design studios, you're going to see Macs everywhere, but I think a lot of that is inertia. That will slowly change over time if nothing develops. But my strong suspicion is what this guy in the hardware vlog was proposing, that Apple have basically lost interest, is probably right. Oh yeah, Kurgle, but Blood Bowl 2's not a massively demanding game though graphically, is it? So I mean, it'll run on virtually anything. I was just talking bang for your buck. That if you've got £4,000 to spend, you could get something significantly faster. I mean, 2 to 3 times faster for half as much cash. Therefore, you ain't going to sell many of those.
Yeah. That was all I got to say there. Yes.
Yeah, finished talking about that. I mean, but I'm not in any way trashing Apple as a company. They've done all sorts of stuff that's very elegant and people like. But in terms of desktop machines, why would you? You know.
Oh, he's going to start fouling. Of course he is.
Oh well, that's kismet, isn't it?
Right, we've only got 3 left now. Now,
So
can we get... No, we can't. Go on.
I was just saying that rat just got chinned by a piece of turf. Soft grass. Rats for you, eh? Rubbish. This is why we don't play rats, kids.
Right, that's pinning both of those. So we'll now go after this. This one this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine.
Hi, Flux Streamer. You alright, sunshine? Oh, villainous. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I used to work for a large multinational corporation, and whatever software they use changing it is massively expensive, and so many companies are using really suboptimal software just because the pain of changing to something that might actually perform better is so expensive and so disruptive that it was like I was saying earlier, inertia is a real big thing.
Yeah, I'm going through a computer change at the moment at work, and it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I work for a big company that shall not be named, and they've got millions to spend, and even so, it is a massive pain.
I've seen some stuff about the steam machines a couple of years ago, Combustor, but to be honest, I've not heard much since, so I don't really know. I remember at the time thinking, it just sounds like it's a bit of a stripped down PC, but it's not cheap enough that why not just buy a PC? It didn't seem to really make a lot of sense to me. Combustor's asking about, do you remember those steam machines that looked like a sort of a high-end console, but was basically a sort of a stripped down one formula PC to play Steam games?
Oh yeah.
I've got some vague recollection that it had quite a nice looking case, that it looked quite nice, and I think the idea was that folks would pop it in the living room. But then, I mean, if you want to stick a PC in the living room, there's no reason why not these days. You don't have to buy, a 2-foot high mega tower, do you?
See if we can induce him to concede.
What's the new game Valve's got, Blob Skills? A Dota trading card game? That's right up your street, Andy. Imagine a game where you can trade Dota cards.
I'd be average at that as well. Question for the stream. Not to stop streaming this in any way, but like I've been playing a bit of Dark Elves in my spare time. Instead of doing that, would you like me to just put on a stream of just a Dota game? Just a random Dota game? Or would that be a really bad idea?
I'll see it tomorrow then.
No.
I'm not watching Dota. It's terrible.
Yeah, I know. So there'd be no Zunk because.
I'm not. Maybe no, I won't say it.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. Oh Christ! There's quite a few people saying do it.
Oh God.
Oh man. My experience of Dota is, actually, it wasn't even Dota. I think I played League of Legends, but hey, same thing, right? Pretty much. And I played it one player, and then I saw, and Andy sometimes when he's round, if we've got 20 minutes to kill, we'll play a game of Dota. It just makes him angry. So it became known as League of Cross. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought as well, Pablo. It was a while ago since I saw this. It was a good 2 or 3 years, but I do vaguely remember thinking at the time, there's not a lot of argument. Why would you bother with that? Just get a PC. It would be simpler, surely. League of Salt. It's not even salt, Kurgle. It's actual unbridled fury. I mean, it's way beyond anything Jimmy's ever said. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. You've actually got to tranquilise him. You know, and then half an hour later, it's like, where am I? It's all right. You're playing Dota. Oh, is it over? Yes.
That is true as well.
Luckily, it's quite a friendly, welcoming community and not at all toxic, though, eh?
Oh, we're not going to get our pitch clear. Our first pitch clear on stream. Unless, of course, he stands that up next turn.
What, because you can only foul one of them?
Because I can only foul one of them. I'm not going to foul the other at the end of the turn.
Oh. This is mean, by the way. I do not support the fouling of Nikito of Mordheim. I'd let him off. He's had a torrid time, and you're just making it worse. This is mean. I wouldn't have done this.
He shouldn't win 6-0 in his first game. Oh, no. Wormthrax, you've not been paying attention. Well, you get the stomp because I thought you'd be good at it.
God. Charlie Banks suddenly taking interest. Foul every turn, foul every turn. Now, Wormthrax knew what he was doing. He just wants to be first at the brains buffet that we've laid on for after the game.
Oh dear. Oh well, right, so, score.
Score! Score.
Some just fell over there. What's going on there?
Oh, but look at his little face. He's delighted. Well done, Sundisk.
Knocked out 5. Okay.
Hello, Oddity. Nice to see you, mate. It's been ages. Where have you been? Missed you. Charlie Banks plays humans.
Ah, not he does, but not. That's not the race he's been using.
Wait, what now? What's this, Charles? You've not playing humans? Right, so we've got golems on 2 and 3 points respectively. So let's have some MVPs.
An MVP action would be great. Yeah. Right, we've got time for one more after this. You've got until the end of the game to vote, and it will be Dark Elves or the Necro. Go.
Go.
And tomorrow's voting, we're going to actually get the Zunkbot to actually work. We've got one vote for Necro. Okay, well this will be easy to count. Oh, my shoulder. This must be actually quite close because there seems like quite a few Dark Elves in there.
No, it's not even close. Already we're up to 12-6 for Dark Elves.
Oh wow, okay.
So let's do Dark Elves. Can't be bothered to count anymore. Alternating them. Oh god, now just because the Necro lads just sing out.
What we need is actually 2 games of Blood Bowl. I need to be playing Dark Elves on one screen and Necro on the other.
Bit tricky, isn't it? And the MVP went to Pyro. Whilst Pyro's one of my favourite zombies, don't really need stat play points on him.
No. So, team's coming along all right. It's time to pay for the